Hi everybody, I'm Decavolti, and we're gonna go right into this with the changes to the Masteries. Um, yeah. So first, I'm gonna show what I have placed for this very tentative, probably literally the first ever AD carry page that I will do. And let's just return the points real quick, so I can introduce you to what I think will be the thing that we go through. Okay, so first I'm going to introduce you to Ferocity, which more or less you might remember as the when people say they go 2109, they go this is the 21. All right, so we have Fury, which you guys remember, attack speed. Sorcery comes back, but it's not cooldown anymore. It is increased ability and spell damage. So you may want to take this for like an AP mid, and you might want to take this one for your AD carry. Coming down here, we have double-edged sword. Well, and first I'll show you. When you click once, it automatically puts 5 in the point. So you click once, you've got 5 on it. And then it opens up one of these two, what did they call them? Keystone Masteries. So you remember double-edged sword. Deal an additional 3% damage, take an additional 1.5% damage. Ranged, if you're ranged, you deal and take an additional 2% damage. I'm not really keen on that one. I'm more like surviving, and yeah, that's why I will take Feast over that, even though it does have a bit of a cooldown now. So here's the our next tier of masteries comes here. Vampirism, you remember that. Lifesteal, Spell Vamp, and this one is Natural Talent. 2 attack damage and 3 ability power at level 18, which is 0.11 attack damage and 0.16 ability power per level. I'm going with this because I like to sustain. It goes along with bringing Feast. And then we have Bounty Hunter, which is new. You deal 1% increased damage for each unique enemy champion you kill. And I think that's important on the different, and I think that's a bonus up to like 5%, I guess. So I think that's a good one for your AD carries. But I think this one also has merit. Oppressor, you might remember that from the last iteration of these pages. You deal 2.5% increased damage to targets with impaired movement, slow, stun, snare, taunt, etc. So this might also be really good in the bottom lane, which is the page I'm making right now. So say you have a Leona or a Volibear or a Braum or whoever that might slow, you deal that much more damage. So I think you might like this one in team fights more. But if you happen to be a carry or maybe if you're a jungler, you might take Bounty Hunter over Oppressor. So we're gonna take Oppressor for now. And our last one, or our second to last one, is Battering Blows, which you may remember as the Armor Penetration one, and this is Magic Penetration. That's not that hard a decision. Armor Pen, Magic Pen. Click once, grab it, and then here are our last Keystone Masteries here. Warlord's Bloodlust, critical strikes heal for 15% of the damage dealt, and grants you 20% attack speed for 4 seconds. 2-second cooldown. Fervor of Battle, your basic attacks and spells grant you a stack of Fervor for 5 seconds, maximum is 10 stacks. Each stack of Fervor adds 1 to 8 bonus physical damage to your basic attacks against champions based on your level. I'll get to the last one in just a moment. Okay, Deathfire Touch. Your damaging abilities cause enemy champions to take 6 plus 50% of your bonus attack damage and 20% of your ability power in magic damage over 3 seconds. Area of effect damage over time abilities apply half this damage over 1.5 seconds instead. I might like this on a Corki or somebody else who has a lot of poke, like an Ezreal. Uh, yeah, I might like that on Corki and Ezreal, but like everybody else might be one of these two. Particularly if you build crit heavy here, or if you just um, if you like just auto attacking here. So for my AD carry pool, I'm going for this one, and that's that. So now you have 12 more points left, which isn't terrible. Which you can get up to the tier 2 Keystone Masteries with your remaining points. And another interesting thing is, if you put a point, say you play Corki, he doesn't need a lot of attack speed, right? So you can go like this, and you have to have 5 points here. You can only have 5 points in the first tier, or you can only have 5 points, period. So for every point you put in, another point comes out of the other one until it goes all the way out. But yeah. Anyway, so here we go, and I'm going to put some in cunning because I believe this is where the AD carries are going to be placing their points. Because you're not trying to be. I don't think you want to rely on defenses. I might be wrong. I'm not like super good at the game, so I might be completely off base. But I see dangerous game over here, and I'm gonna go for that. So we're gonna go savagery, basic. We'll introduce them as we go along. Savagery, basic attacks and single target spells deal 1 bonus damage to minions and monsters. You may remember that from the jungles. Pretty good for wave clear, I think. Over here, Wanderer, 0.6% movement speed out of combat, which goes up to 3%. You might want to take that as a support if you're trying to support, or jungles might want this one. This is really strong. I think that would be really good on them. Savagery is what we're going to go for. Secret Stash, you're going to remember that as the Flask Mastery, or I'm sorry, the Flask, the Biscuit Mastery, which that's what that turns into. And Runic Affinity, which you're going to remember also as the buff ones. Buffs granted by jungle monsters last 15% longer, including epic monsters and River Shrine. So we're going to get this one. Meditation, once every 5 seconds, regenerate 0.3% of your missing mana. Merciless, deal 1% increased damage to champions below 40% health. We're going to go with Merciless, because dealing damage is what we like to do. 5% increased damage to champions below 40% health. And then Dangerous Game, which we all remember. We all know and love that one. Champion kills and assists restore 5% of your missing health and mana. Bandit, you're going to remember that one from the support tree. Gain 1 gold for each nearby minion killed by allied champions. Gain an additional 3% gold, or 10 if you're melee, when hitting an enemy champion with a basic attack. Wow, that is actually huge. So, again, I like to bring up the Leona example because I like playing Leona. If I go in on somebody, just basic attack them. That's 10 gold in my pocket every 5 seconds. Alright, and we'll go through the rest of the tree as we go into the next ones. So we'll save our masteries. Okay. Next, my support page. We'll return the points as we go. Okay, so we're going to start here in the resolve, which is kind of like the defense tree. Recovery. 0.4 health regen per 5 seconds. That goes up to 2 health regen. And unyielding. That goes up to 6% bonus armor and magic resist. Well, naturally, we're going to go with the resistances here. Tough Skin. Explorer, plus 12 movement speed in Brush and River. Tough Skin, you take 2 less damage from champion and monster basic attacks. We're going with this one because we're going to be in their faces a lot. It's also pretty good if you're in the top lane, or if you're a jungler. Alright, so Veteran Scars, you remember this one. 4% total health. There's also Runic Armor here. 1.6 bonus to all shields and healing on you. So, an AD carry who might be defensive minded might come over here, and this would be good for them because that affects their lifesteal from, say, a Bloodthirster or a Blade of the Ruin King. It affects all of their regeneration, and it also affects if a shield is placed onto you by, I'll say it again, Bloodthirster or Giant Shield or any other kind of shields. So that might be an idea to take instead of going into Cunning. I just like Cunning because Dangerous Game is kind of my favorite thing. Alright, so moving on. Our Keystone Masteries here are Perseverance, plus 50% health regen, increased to plus 200% when below 20% health. Insight, your summoner spells have 15% reduced cooldown. This is kind of a no-brainer for me. Insight is what I will take. This is nice, but not nice enough over your flash coming back off of on cooldown, or your exhaust, or anything else. Or top laners might also prefer this one to have a shorter teleport window. So moving on, Swiftness, 3% tenacity and slow resist. Legendary Guardian, kind of the Wukong passive, 0.4 armor and magic resist for each nearby enemy champion. I I like having my tenacity on, so we're gonna go with swiftness, which is 15% tenacity once you've gone all the way up. But maybe we can, maybe we some of these like we can hybridize. I'm just going in extremes right now to see how it works. Maybe somebody out there who has a PBE account might want to hybridize it. Anyway, our last Keystone Masteries here in Resolve are Grasp of the Undying. Every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack against the enemy champion steals life equal to 3% of your max health, halved for ranged champions, so it would be 1.5% for a ranged champion. Strength of the Agate. Strength of the Ages, wow. Siege minions and large monsters that you or nearby allies kill grant you 20 and 10 permanent health respectively, up to a cap of 300. After reaching this max bonus, further nearby siege minion kills restore 100 health. So this might be a nice one for a support in lane, because as a support you usually take the siege, depending on what support you play. So if you play a tankier support that goes into the runic shield, into the face of the mountain, you might want to take this one because it's an easy execute for the siege minion, and you'll probably get quite a good nice bonus in lane. And Bond of Stone, this is the one I personally like. 4% damage reduction when near an ally. This bonus is doubled, and 8% of the damage that they would take from champions is dealt to you instead. Cannot reduce below 15% health. So this is the one I will take because I favor the tankier supports, like a Leona, Braum, Alistar, what have you. Even Thresh. I'll take this one. That's my favorite. And then we're going to go over here into these because, as I mentioned earlier, as a support, you might want like these pages. So this is the Wanderer, which goes up to 3% movement speed out of combat. We're going to get the Secret Stash. Meditation. Once every 5 seconds, regenerate 0.3% of your missing mana. Goes up to 1.5. Again, I play the casters, the, supports. They typically use their mana pool pretty quickly, so I like having that on deck. This one, I'm actually going to take Bandit. Bandit is really good. Again, melee supports, range supports, any of them, you just auto-attack them once. That auto-attack is so easy to do. A lot of people underrate that auto-attack. I hope that the Bandit Mastery will help you to actually auto-attack your enemy champions for harass. Right then. That's supports. That's how I see the supports going. Saved. Mid lane. Let's actually go over. Let's just go over and make a new one just to see what all the cunning looks like here. So, again, Savagery goes up to 5% bonus damage to minions and monsters. We, of course, know both of these, so let's go Runic Affinity. Merciless, deal 1% increased damage to champions below 40% health. Click. And then Dangerous Game. So this is going to be like a regular jungle page. Precision Gain. This is flat, so gain 0.6 plus 0.6 per level armor and magic penetration, which is 3 and plus 0.3 per level armor and magic pen when you max it all the way up. Intelligence, your cooldown reduction cap is increased by 1%, gain 1% cooldown reduction. That obviously goes up to 5, which means you can break the CDR cap and have 50% CDR, which kind of seems silly. Storm Raider Surge, dealing 30% of a champion's max health within 2 seconds, grants you 35% movement speed for 3 seconds. This feels like something you would get on a Master E, or a very high burst champion like a Yi, or maybe Kindred could benefit from this one, but basically for the jungle. Thunderlord's Decree, your third attack or spell on an enemy champion shocks the area around them, dealing 10% per level plus 20% of your bonus attack damage and 10% of your ability power as magic damage to enemies in the area. So, as the name might imply, you might want to take this on a Volibear, or you could take this on you could take this on quite a few. You could actually take this on Yi as well. But I think I'd like this one better, just to chase people. You can take this on like a new deer or something like that. When Speaker's Blessing, your heals and shields are 10% stronger. Additionally, your shields and heals increase your target's resistance by 15% for 3 seconds when used on an ally other than yourself. This might be something, if you plan on going like really deep in this tree, this might be something you pull out of an Oriana, or you can pull this, you can do this on Janna support, or, you know, all those types of champions. Anything with a heal, anything with a shield, like Nami, Janna, Oriana, any of those champions would do. And that's that. And then just for this one, let's say we're doing an Udyr page, we'll do that. And then we'll come in here, grab these. For him, I might actually like double-edged sword. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And we'll go here. That's plus 10 and 15 ability power, plus 10 AD and plus 15 AP at level 18, which is actually pretty cool. And then with Udyr, I like this one, and that's my page, because you're gonna be slowing people, you're gonna be stunning people a lot, you know, running into people, flash, bear slap, all that good stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of CC guaranteed when you throw it out. So that's that. And I believe I've gone through all of them, giving you some examples. I can go over my mid page if you like. Over here, 2% increased ability and spell damage. And then I have that again because I like sustaining a lane. Natural talent I took here because the extra ability power sounds pretty cool. Oppressor because as an AP mid, I typically have the CC down. Piercing Thoughts because 7% magic penetration is not something to sneeze at. And then Deathfire Touch, which is your damaging abilities cause enemy champions to take 6 plus 50% of your bonus attack damage and 20% of your ability power and magic damage over 3 seconds. Which my AP or my mid pull will benefit greatly from that. And I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. Thank you for watching. And again, I don't claim to be like the best or even really good at this game, but I think that somebody out there is watching this and will look at this and say, "Hey, you know, he didn't get the right idea, but I know what I will do now." And that's all I can hope for. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in solo queue.